Maxime was tipped to be a world champion and a great of the sport from his early EMX 125 days.
I've been in a rehab center, you know. I was in a center with people that were really in a bad situation. And seeing how they were just enjoying the life and smiling and always have the joke in them, saying a joke or something, you know, I was like, I cannot complain.
Yeah, I was rookie in the class. You know, you are coming, you don't expect anything.
Romain Febvre is about to make history here. The rookie winning in the MXGP class. He wins the race, and he will now realise it.
I look at you then. Yeah.
First of all, then, it's been a great season for you. Obviously, you've hit a very high level again for the first time in quite a while. How does it feel to reach those heights again and just be back to the best version of you? Because it has been a long time.
Romain Febvre, big day for him. 8 points separate him and the championship leader, Tim Geiser. Is it going to be? As Cairoli grabs a foxhole shot, it looked like it was Cairoli around the outside. It's him who leads anyway. Hurling second, Febvre third, Seawer fourth. Jonas in fifth position. Goes around the outside. Haven't seen that, but not able to make the move stick at the bottom of the hill. Right, is there a pass being lined up here from Febvre? He gets down the inside, and he has made the move. The fans on their feet, they are absolutely going bananas. Febvre, your new leader. We saw it coming. We saw the move work the first time around with Jeremy Seawer. And Hurling's tried to run it up the inside. He's running out of time. Febvre is going to hold on. And Romain Febvre out of the final two corners here. The number 3 takes victory in race 1. An epic win for Romain Febvre.
I tried to close the gap, but many times I was not that close to make it happen. So I didn't show the line. And then when I was close to him, I did. And yeah, make a lead, but with the lap rider, it came really tough at the end. But yeah. Overall, I'm happy. One more to go, and we will celebrate with the French fries.
Good luck for the second race.
Yeah, I make some mistake this year. Some mistake when I was leading, and let's say I didn't have any rider who put pressure on me on that moment, and then I crash or.
And he leads the way. By 2.7 seconds now over Jorge Prado. Hurling's. Romain Febvre throws away the lead. For the second week in succession in the second race, Romain Febvre, Monster Energy Kawasaki, out of the lead and handing the advantage to Jorge Prado.
And I make the mistake, so that it's really difficult to understand. It's always possible to make a mistake, but those ones are really difficult. Sometimes I crashed some race that I wanted to do too quick, like the first few laps too quick, and I wasn't maybe on a good position, so I wanted to pass the rider really too fast, and then I make a mistake. So that I can understand, and we can analyze that. But like when I was leading few times I was leading a race and then I crashed by my own. So that's the worst scenario to accept, and also to analyze, because you don't know. Sometimes I cannot explain why exactly I did.
Febvre has the biggest gap that he's had for a few laps over Jeffrey Hurlings. For all of these guys, it's now or never. Febvre can't do any more than he's doing. How close? Geiser almost alongside. Can't affect the move there though. Febvre throws away the lead on the final lap. And then there were 3. Jeffrey Hurlings wins race 1 here. Looks back and sees Cairoli there. Geiser third. Febvre, disappointment for him in 4th place.
Maybe I'm not so fey, but I'm pretty surprised, honestly. I mean, I always consider this 2015 title as a unique opportunity for him to get the title. Because at that moment so many riders were injured.
Romain Febvre is about to make history here. A rookie winning in the MXGP class. He wins the race and he will now realise it.
Still, he won the title, so as I said previously, it's in the book. It's there, you want it, you deserve it, of course. But this year, something has changed. And if you see where he is now in the championship, being the rider who have made most of the mistakes on track, it's amazing, because it means that, yeah, he's there and he can fight. I'm still not betting on him for the final victory, but eventually, if he will score the final victory, he will deserve it, to me, a little bit more than in 2015, because he was there all the time with all the top riders fighting with him. And I was pretty surprised also about his only success this year. Winning Lommel is not easy.
Round 6 is about to draw to a concluding end. Who will it be, though, that wins the Grand Prix here? Jeffrey Herlich's nearest our camera, the gate about to drop, it does. Not a good jump for the 84, Prado and Febvre, and again Monticelli around the outside, Jacobi going with him this time. Kawasaki lead the way once again, and then Monticelli throws it away. 47, Febvre, Jonas, 40, Geiser, 34, we've got Wade Jellos here, and Febvre has thrown it away. Febvre has thrown away a 5-second advantage over Paul's Jonas. Romain Febvre, who was the fastest man around the track a lap ago with a 2:09, obviously a 2:13, so it cost him 4 or 5 seconds that time around. Oh, we've got to change for second. Febvre has barged his way past Jorge Prado, who's looking back to retaliate. Side by side, but Febvre is just going to steal it. He's alongside and takes the lead away from Paul's Jonas. Romain Febvre finally wins at Lommel, the toughest place on earth. He can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm stoked right now. I feel all the work pay off, finally. Still make a mistake, but that second moto, I was on it. So proud of my team, Monster Energy Kawasaki Racing team. And we're gonna celebrate tonight.
Romain Febvre is maybe at the top of the list of most entertaining riders. But when he is on, he's so exciting to watch because he's so fast, he's got so much raw speed, and definitely isn't afraid to hang it out and leave it all on the track. That saying there effectively sums up his 2021 season so far. He's been the fastest rider in the MXGP class on more than one occasion. At most rounds, you could say. He's led the third most laps at this point, that being the halfway mark. But he's also had some crashes, he's also had some mistakes, and that's cost him, because really, if you look at the positions he's been putting himself in, the speed that he's had, and effectively what he's delivered as a whole thus far this year, he should be leading the World Championship. And at the halfway mark now, with 8 rounds to go, he's only 4 points down, so we're not far from that.
We play already some good cards this season, but I still make some mistakes, and which I will try my best to end up the season really good without making mistakes. And I feel clearly that this season can be mine, so I will do everything I can to finalize that.
The Motocross of Nations is a special event. Motocross is an individual sport, much like every other type of racing. Team events don't really factor in, except for one time of the year when the Motocross of Nations, or the Olympics of Motocross, fires up, typically at the end of September, and pits country against country in a unique format that mixes 450s and 250s, Americans against Europeans. You just see you see a different dynamic to what you do for the other 11 months of the year. That's what makes the Motocross of Nations so special, and that's what makes it the biggest event in the sport. There's a reason why every fan, no matter their continent, no matter where they're based, no matter their background, there's a reason why every fan tunes into this event.
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, it was a dream for me to race the Motocross of Nations, because over here in Europe, all the big guys showed up, also from the States and from any, other country. And I remember that day like it was yesterday in Sergio in 2011 when I did my first Nations. I was 17 years old. I was like, oh, did they really ask me to go to the Nations? Like, it was super cool and a great experience, because I was watching guys like, Danci, Villopoto, in TV and in magazines, and they were just heroes, and all out of a sudden I stood on the start gate and like I saw them next to me, you know, and it was like, wow, you know, I'm racing them now.
They all want a piece, so, but it's not bad, it's definitely going to be good.
15-second forward is about to turn to 5. It's Blake Baggett on the inside. Now this is Ryan Minapota and Ryan Dunching. They celebrate for Team USA.
The whole Team USA crew, man. It was amazing from the time we got here till now. And
my favorite Motocross of Nations, the best memories I have from the first one, because it was impressive for me, and I was just, yeah, it was incredible. I will never forget that. And beside that, I loved Assen, and just because I was like doing really well and I was up front and winning the quali race.
We managed to get the win home, you know, which is amazing, especially like I said on this track. And now pressure is off for Team Switzerland to qualify, I think, I hope so. And now we look for tomorrow, and I'm stoked with that. It's the moustache, it's the moustache.
We're going to start with the ballot, and we have on their left-hand side the countries, right-hand side the number of the gate picks, okay?
Yeah, it's special. I mean, just when you know, go through your social media and things like that after, even before the race, you know, this is one race where you tend to find everyone watches. It's the GPs, you know, there's 20 in one season, and if someone has a plan to go out with some mates or something, they kind of forget about it. Whereas in Nations, I feel like, you know, even if something's going on, everyone still manages to kind of sit down at one point and catch up and watch this race. So it's one of them where, especially if you come away with a good result, you have yeah, crazy big response from it.
As a team member, you know, I'm always proud to represent my country, and obviously the last few years, you know, we are a really strong country. We know that, and
always have been something really amazing. Every year I was like surprised, because everyone was saying, oh, this is the best nations, oh, this is the hugest, this is the biggest, this is. But year per year we have seen really some really nice event in Martelli-Bessin, in Majora, in Lommel, in Teutschenthal. I have plenty of nice memories about Motocross of Nations. There was a moment where I was considering a little bit less the event compared to the World Championship, but then when you get older, I think it's something that is like you feel more the fact that you are part of a country. So you're not cheering anymore for your favorite rider or for your favorite team, favorite brand, but you're cheering for your nation. And that's something that is completely different from what we are used to have.
Britain! Great Britain goes on position 16.
This year, yeah, I was the favourite in the team, and, you know, let's say meant to be the stronger member of the three. So it was, I mean, nice to have that feeling. Was amazing. To be selected as that guy was like a privilege for me, but yeah, it comes with a little bit of extra pressure. And
Saturday, day one of the MX Nations 2021. Heading out now for warm-up, first session on track. Not really any pressure today. I mean, the pegs for qualifying position were pulled yesterday. Team GB was 16, so not amazing, but not too bad. It can be a lot worse. It's a sacrilege, but a new helmet has to be dropped.
Hello everybody, welcome to the 74th edition of the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. My name's Paul Mailing. I'll be joined by Jason Thomas from Fly Racing for the qualifying races today and the main events tomorrow. The Fly Racing 15-second board goes up. We are getting ready to go racing this qualifying race here, 20 minutes plus 2 laps. Keeping an eye on our guys, but we can see good jump from Ben Watson. And there's Watson, who runs wide through the first turn, uses all of that racetrack, takes Benoit Patrel to the outside, getting their way through the first few corners, and it's Watson who leads on the Yamaha for Great Britain. Absolutely flying start for the Brit. A 29.4 in Cairoli's favour, 29.8, 29.4 in Cairoli's favour, 25.7, and the fastest sector of the race for Cairoli, a 24.7. So that gap is coming down all of a sudden. Final turn, this is where the pass is going to happen, maybe end of the straight. Watson knows he's there, can't do anything about it. Tony Cairoli goes through with 2 laps to go.
You see just absolutely no fight from Ben there, which I still believe there's some sort of arm pump or some sort of nervousness happening, because you see him, he's already losing the toe here a little bit, and I think he's perfectly happy to bring this home in 2nd place.
And Tony Cairoli, a week ago we didn't even know if he was going to be here. Well, he is, he's arrived, he's won the qualifying race.
I'm quite painful around the track, but I could ride very smooth and good lines, and yeah, we take the lead, so it's good for Italy because the gate peak is very important tomorrow.
Okay, best of luck for tomorrow. Thanks, Tony.
If you're joining us for the first time, it's not such a very warm welcome to Italy. In fact, a very wet one now. We've had rain for the last hour and a half or so. It's gradually picking up as well, but the track is still in very good condition. Modifications to the racetrack as since the last time we came here for a Grand Prix.
So yeah, Sunday, I mean, we came together as a team, and the strategy with the start was not really simple, but you know, you just listen to Mark in that way and kind of go with it as a team and make sure everyone's happy. And Sean, you know, with his injury with the thumb, he decided that he would just go on the outside both motors and give the opportunities to me and Conrad to kind of achieve the best we could and have that opportunity to get a good start and, you know, have that clear track, let's say. So
of course, a little nerves, but most of the time it's yeah, it's excitement, and yeah, I'm just looking forward.
The 5-second borders turn. We are getting ready to go. MX on 74. The burst into life here in Mantova. It's going to be a very interesting first turn. And Cairoli around the outside, and he and Kobanov both go down.
Just what I was fearful of. That first turn, the outsides have not worked throughout the weekend, and they're already paying the price for it.
So Cairoli, Team Italy, favourites Glenn Kobanov, the defending champions. Already drama here, going into the first corner in Mantova. Just looking down the leaderboard, Glenn Kobanov, who fell at turn 1 as we look at the top 3 riders. Kobanov is now 20th. 10 laps complete. TKO has 1.4 seconds. And there's thunder rumbling all around this Mantova racetrack. We've seen a few flashes of light as well. There is Watson right behind them now in 3rd for Team GB. The run down towards the finish line. The Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider and Team Denmark round out the final turn, and Thomas Gear Olsen wins race 1 here at the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations in Mantova.
It was raining heavy, goggles were crucial, and it was a little, not enduro mode, but you know, you needed to stay focused to make no mistakes, and for me that was nice. Just kind of kept plugging away with each lap, and yeah, 3rd for the first race was solid for Team GB. And
I followed, of course. I mean, I'm a racer, and I've, you know, I have it in my blood. So it was, you know, nice to see, like, especially Ben, you know, he's a great guy. He's doing good for a rookie, you know. You need to give him some time. That's just normal, because the MXGP class is incredible tough at the moment. I think it's getting harder every year. I don't know really they ever stop to, you know, settle.
And we are back live then with the race as it's about to go. We've got a green flag being raised imminently over on the backside of the grid. All the big hitters down the inside there. That's where we're going to keep our eye. There's a couple in the middle as well with Warren and the number 1 of Glenn Kobanov, who looks like he's getting a good jump as well. But Herlitz closes the door on Cairoli. Kobanov with a good jump coming out of the first turn. Cole Olsen, I think, is down. He is. Good start for Ben Watson as well for Team Great Britain. Here he is, 3rd on his Monster Energy Yamaha, the number 7.
Yeah, everything was going good, and then I had one big mistake and took quite a big crash. So. And
oh, Ben Watson! Off the side of the bike, just grabbed his foot pegs. I was about to say they're tied on points, the Netherlands and Great Britain. But with that crash, Ben Watson losing points and positions here.
Anything can happen. I mean, we was running 2nd and then 3rd as a team, and then, you know, back down to 10th.
So Ben Watson then lucky to pick himself up from that one. I think he may have fallen to 4th, so Kobanov would have gone through and taken a crucial point for the Netherlands. And Jeffrey Herlings is going to go 1-1 at the Motocross of Nations. And Italy are going to be crowned world champions once again for the 3rd time since 2002.
Yeah, about it, and I was hearing the speaker that something was going on with Alessandro, and I was like, okay, it's the last chance I have to make it up, and we make it up, so I'm really happy.
The Team GB, yeah, I came over the line and the manager was there and he said, yeah, I mean, sure third, could be second because there's some, ongoing penalties with Italy. And
Right, Team GB on the podium, third overall. Sean Simpson, damaged thumb, heavily strapped up. They finished with 39 points. Sean Simpson, Ben Watson, Conrad Muse.
Ben did amazing. I was so happy for him. I was watching the podium, and he was just like smiling all over the place already because he was third on the podium, and then they came with the gold plate. And he was like, he didn't realize, he was like, yeah, me? Is it me? And then like, yeah, and he was just the happiest guy ever. And it was nice to see because Ben, he's a good kid. He's my teammate, so we spend some time together, and I like to see him, succeeding.
I know there were some guys missing and people were saying, it's not the usual nations, but honestly, in 10 years when I'm not racing anymore and I look back and I'll go to the 2021 nations and I'll see the names on the list and I'm the MXGP overall winner. I mean, it's there in black and white, and no one will take that away from me. So, as a thing, when I look back in the past, it's going to be, like a great memory.
Italy are world champions for the third time.
yesterday I got 3 second places and then ended with a bullet. The coach was like, we were like, okay, the last one we get, like beast mode. And yeah, the final is all about attacking, defend, like you have to get the first place. It's like all or nothing. So I went in all or nothing and it worked out.
Look at you, you're pumped.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It was so tight and like all the time in the back, you know, they're like 10 meters behind me. We're going like 50 kilometers an hour or faster, and yeah, no room for mistakes.
I think only beginning and also on the reaching, I had to push really a lot. But yeah, it was super nice. The downwind was super hard for me with the 15 compared to them. But finally I made it, so super happy. Yeah.
July 7th, 2005.
I just heard a bang, I looked around, the whole top of the bus and the back of it just came off.
In London, suicide terrorist bombings strike 3 underground stations and a double-decker bus. The blasts kill 52 victims and 4 bombers in the worst attack on the British capital since World War II. 1865. In Washington, 4 people are hanged for conspiring with John Wilkes Booth to assassinate President Abraham Lincoln. 1987.
I came here to tell you the truth, to tell you in this committee and the American people the truth.
Also in Washington, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North begins his public testimony at congressional hearings on the Iran-Contra affair. The former Reagan White House aide at the heart of the Arms for Hostages scandal says he never carried out a single act without authorization. 1981. President Ronald Reagan nominates Sandra Day O'Connor, an Arizona judge, to be the first female justice on the U.S. Supreme Court. 1907. Robert Heinlein, the science fiction writer whose works include Stranger in a Strange Land, is born in Butler, Missouri. And 1940, musician Ringo Starr, the drummer in the rock band The Beatles, is born Richard Starkey in Liverpool, England. Today in history, July 7th, Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,